Hello, hello, hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? This is Kim Willis again, another Facebook Live. This will be the last one this week in this time zone. I'll probably run another one in another time zone, more suitable for people who are living in Europe, including the UK and other parts of the world. So this is the last one in this time zone until next week. I like this topic. Look, I like all the topics I feature, otherwise why would I bother featuring them? But this one to me is especially important, particularly for struggling marketers. Struggling marketers. There are lots of reasons why marketers struggle, but one of the big ones I think is to do with the types of people that they're targeting. So it's a target market issue. And what I found is that if we get the settings right for our targeting, everything else moves up. Everything else gets better. We make more money. We enjoy ourselves more because we're dealing with people that are right for us. They're right for our business. Anyway, I'll get into that in a minute. As I said, my name is Kim Willis. I've been a digital marketer for 12 years. I've made some incredible money. I've made a lot of sales, but I've also had some downtimes. Yeah, nothing is straight line. I've had some downtimes for sure. And for the last few years, in fact, the last 5 years, I've been a nomad, a digital nomad. This is this new fandangled term or phrase that's been coined. The internet has made it possible, and now there's, I don't know how many digital nomads there are in the world, people who are traveling, seeing the world, yet doing their business online. I don't know how many there are. There could be millions. Some say there's millions of them. Maybe there's only a few 100,000, but doesn't matter. It's a movement, and there's more and more people doing it. Do I want to do it for the rest of my life? No, I don't. But I originally decided to become a nomad, do it for 12 months. Well, here I am 5 years later. So right now I'm in Cambodia. Next week I'm over to Vietnam. We're having a reunion with my sons, one of whom lives there, and the other one is in Hong Kong, and he's flying over to join us as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, so who have we got here at the moment? Ray, good to see you, Ray. Glad that you could make it to the call. There's Connie, the fabulous Connie Kachia. Axel, g'day Axel. Axel's based in New Zealand, formerly from Sydney. Michael, g'day Michael. Good Aussie welcome for you. Okay, let's get into this topic. Target marketing, finding the right people. Now I'm into quality. I don't know about you. Not in all areas of my life. In some areas I couldn't care less about quality. But talk about the people thing, but just talk about the quality issue in general first, okay? Quality. Now, I bet there are aspects of your life, things that you buy, experiences that you seek out that revolve around quality. You want a quality experience. Maybe you love quality movies. Maybe you're into food. I'm into food. I'm happy to admit that, happy to say it. I'm into food. Most of the week I eat super healthy food, low fat, basically vegetarian. But tonight, being Wednesday night for me, it's gourmet night, right? So I'm into food. So me, I'll have a salad. That'll be one of the things, it'll be a French type of a salad, which includes the use of tomatoes. Now, I'm not one of these guys that thinks all tomatoes are the same. They're not. So I have what you might call gourmet tomatoes, and I've got a bag of them here, right? I buy them at the local market. They're grown on the vine. I mean, they're all grown on the vine, but they're sun ripened. They're ripened on the vine. They're bigger. They're beautiful. I mean, they're fantastic. There's no way I'm going to sacrifice and go and buy some El Cheapo tomato for my salad because it's one of the focal points of the meal, right? Chocolate. Who loves chocolate? You like chocolate? Okay, well, there's all sorts of different chocolates, different price points, etc. But I kind of like the European chocolates, right? Because I said I'm a foodie. I'm happy to say that. I don't apologize for it. I eat 3 times a day, so I want to make the experience enjoyable, right? So for me, if I'm just using like brands that I can buy in supermarkets, I'm going to buy the best, and it's going to be like something like Lindt, something like this one here, Framboise Intense, right? It's got all these little strawberry pieces in it. You like strawberry, you like chocolate, dark chocolate, awesome stuff. So quality's a subjective thing, of course, in one sense, but it is measurable in other ways. But you may not be into quality foods, that's fine. But maybe you're into quality experiences, as I said, quality music. You want the best music you can get within that genre, okay? I'm the same with music. I'm really particular about my music. Same thing with food. But I bet there are aspects of your life where quality reigns supreme. What's the point? The point is that if there are aspects of your life where quality reigns supreme, may I suggest that one of those aspects ought to be to do with the people that you're associating with, quality relationships, quality connections with quality people. It's got to be the way to go. And you're building a business. You're a network marketer, you're an affiliate marketer, you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're building some kind of a home-based business perhaps, or maybe you've got an office or a shop or something like that. To me, a lot of it comes down to the target marketing, the quality of the people that you associate with. And if you can attract quality people into your realm, into your orbit, the outcomes are going to be better. You're going to make more money. Most marketers, let's say affiliate marketers, network marketers, they struggle. And when I say most, it's like 95% of them are not making a full-time income or nowhere near it. Some of them haven't even made their first sale yet. And yet they've been plugging away for 3 months and 6 months. They still haven't made a sale. Or if they have made a sale, it's been 1 or 2 little itty bitty sales. Oh boy, let's get excited about that, right? So what are the reasons? Well, there are a multiplicity of reasons. But let's start at the base. Let's go with the core first. The core reason often is to do with the people that we're dealing with. I talk to people on Messenger, for instance, or sometimes on the phone every week, often many times a day. And they tell me they're struggling. They're not getting enough leads and all the rest of it. Or if they are getting leads, no one is signing up. Well, there could be all sorts of reasons for that. Or when they do sign up, they're only buying some itty bitty little product, you know, and that's it. They're not spending any more money. Well, the reason why they're not spending any more money is because they're broke, right? In all probability, or they're not broke, but they just don't see you, you know, that you haven't convinced them. Maybe that's it. But a lot of the times it seems to be that struggling marketers are targeting people that may make them feel okay, because they're not threatening and they're not better than them and all the rest of it. They're kind of at their level or maybe even below their level, so they can feel kind of superior talking to people who are below them. But they're broke. They haven't got the money to buy your best thing, your best product, your best service or whatever. So you got to kind of make a decision as to whether you're going to keep scratching around in the bottom of the cage there like a turkey, or you're going to, you know, be an eagle and fly with the eagles. To do that, you've got to get your targeting right. Now, when I started out in sales, not in internet marketing, but in sales as a 20-year-old who didn't know what the heck he was doing, I was trying to sell life insurance. I worked a little bit with my sales manager, and he got me to focus on a core group that would be right for me as a 20-year-old. And basically, it revolved around other 20-year-olds, other people in their early 20s who were in good jobs and had low overhead. Because he said if they've got low overhead, they've got good jobs, they've got disposable income. Pretty simple. So I went back to some of my old school friends who were in good jobs. And lo and behold, they bought some life insurance from me, right? And so when I ran out of my friends, well then, okay, I looked for other people. Some of them were referrals from the original group of people who joined. But I was very diligent about asking if one of my clients gave me some names, they gave me half a dozen names of people to go and talk to, I'd qualify each one of those names. So I'd say, okay, what sort of work does he do, John? Oh, I can't remember, whatever it was. He's an accountant trainee. He's trainee, he graduates next year, but he's in employment right now. Okay, and does he live at home? Yeah, he lives at home. Right, so he's got low overhead and he's got a reasonable income and great prospects for the future, right? So I'd do that. I'd qualify each person. I did. And then later, when I got out of the insurance industry, it was like 15 years later, I decided that I wanted to I wanted to target businesses for marketing support services, because I'd become quite good at marketing, copywriting, writing headlines, rewriting Yellow Pages ads and all that sort of stuff. And so we started targeting them and targeting different businesses, but I was unfocused with my targeting. And then I went to this conference, a marketing conference, and he said, what you've got to do is you've got to niche it down. You've got to narrow it down, narrow it down, narrow it down. Look for the quality niche, number one, quality niche, quality people in the niche, people who can spend more, right? And when you've narrowed it down, you can then start to do something that you're not doing now. What is it? You can learn the language of the niche. The language of the niche. So this was a complete revelation to me, even though I was a good copywriter and all the rest of it. And I'd heard this stuff before, but for some reason, I was ready when I heard this guy. His name is Winston, right? And it was in Sydney, Australia. I remember it very, very well. And in a way, it was life-changing for me because, you know, the old thing, when the pupil is ready, the teacher appears. I already knew this stuff intellectually, but it hadn't been driven deep into my psyche, okay, into my core. It hadn't been driven deep. That seminar from Winston, it did the trick. It did the trick. So I thought, okay, well, what niche should I go with? And he made a suggestion. He said, why don't you try the accounting profession? I had to talk to him in the coffee break. And I said, I don't know anything about accounting. How can I talk their language? I know nothing about it. I'm not interested in that. He said, look, they're awesome. Not only will they avail themselves of your services, they're hopeless at marketing. And if you can help them with marketing, they'll lap it up. But not only that, but they'll introduce you to some of their small business clients anyway. So that's what I did. And I built quite a presence amongst accountants in Sydney, Australia, okay, offering marketing services. And I ended up running conferences and seminars and all sorts of things for accountants. But here's the thing, I learned the language of the niche. I learned that language. I learned how to talk about compliance. I didn't understand all the technical aspects, but I learned the lingo. I got hold of the accountants industry magazines, and I'd pour through those magazines and I'd pick out phrases and terms and stuff like that accountants were using, so that when I was talking to accountants, I could just sort of drop these phrases in front of them. And they thought I was a genius, even though they knew I wasn't an accountant. All right, so learning the language of the niche, but targeting, getting the targeting right is critical, and then you can learn the language of the niche. Now, I don't know who you're targeting. I don't know who your ideal audience. I don't know what profile of your ideal client. That's where it starts. I don't know who it is. If you're a coach, maybe you're targeting, I don't know, obese people. Maybe you're targeting people with health issues or who are into fitness. I don't know. If you're a network marketer, maybe you're targeting people who are in the over 50s, baby boomers, or maybe you're targeting other network marketers because you figure that, hey, they're already converted to the cause of network marketing, so it'd be easy to kind of poach them from another company. Maybe that's your thing. But you've got to figure out where those people hang out. So number one, define your ideal client, profile of ideal client. Number two, figure out where they hang out. Now let's see what's going on here. Let's see if there's anyone else joined the call. Craig, g'day Craig. Jean, the dancing machine. G'day Jean. Denise, hi Denise. Diane, hi Diane. Good to see you again. Megan, my dear friend Megan. Yeah, we got Axel. Who else? Valentino, Nanda, Lewis. Hi Lewis. Good to see you. You're very enthusiastic. I love it. Yeah, hi Craig. Okay, so this is not a full lesson on target marketing. No way could it be that. It's just a real quick look at the topic And you know, if somehow there's something that I say that clicks with you, well, you've got to make the resolution to dig deeper, to really get into this topic in a big way. You've got to get this stuff right into your very core. You've got to get that happening. Otherwise, it's just going to be another idea. Oh, there's another good idea. Oh, yeah, there's another idea. Oh, I heard this guy the other day. That's another good idea. You're not going to make money by taking that approach. It's just not going to work. You've got to go deep, deep. The devil is in the detail. All right, talking about ponds. What ponds to fish in? Well, if we're talking Facebook, I'd say Facebook groups is probably a good way to start. Or friends of friends, that kind of thing. Look at your current friends list and see if there's anybody there that satisfies your profile of an ideal client or customer or whatever. And see if they've got other friends of like mind, other friends who are kind of like them, you know, birds of a feather flock together, you know, that type of thing, that type of thinking. Facebook groups are good. The right sort of Facebook group, Now look, I've made money from those spammy groups, don't get me wrong. And sometimes just to get somebody off to a fast start, sometimes I'll say, if I'm working with somebody on a consulting basis, I say, well, look, if you don't mind putting in a bit of grunt work, I'm going to give you a strategy that will work within spammy groups. I know it will work because I've used it myself. And once I got it working, then I got my VA to duplicate what I was doing. And we were able to attract a few quality people from those spammy groups on a reasonably regular basis. Okay, so that does work, but you've got to kiss a lot of frogs to find the prince. So another approach is to look for quality groups, discussion groups, full-on discussion groups. Because what I know is that quality groups attract quality people. You're after quality people, right? Yeah? You're after quality people, all right? Well, chances are a bunch of them are going to be hanging out in a quality group that is specific to your niche. Now, how do you conduct yourself in one of those quality groups? That's critically important, because if you don't do it right, you'll get banned, you'll get blocked, because they don't want spammers. They don't want people with obvious agendas, right? They don't want that. They want people to come from contribution, okay? They're givers more than they're takers. They're people who understand the law of the universe, which says this: you can have everything that you want if you help enough people get what they want. Yeah, and it works. We've just got to overcome our lack of patience and do it and watch the magic happen. We overcome our impatience. Impatience is not a virtue sometimes, particularly when it comes to attraction marketing. It is definitely not a virtue. So it's about giving first and receiving at some point in the future. We don't know when that will be. It could be in a couple of weeks, could be in a couple of months. We don't know, although we can speed it up. There are techniques you can use to speed it up. But initially, it's about you being generous, giving. Okay, so if you're in one of those groups, you make quality comments and don't include your link. Don't even say anything about, oh, if you want more information, please send me a PM. That's just nonsense behavior. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And people will mark you down when you do it. Even if you don't get banned from that group, they'll mark you down. They will. I know I do. I'm a quality person, and if I see it, wow, it's like a red rag to a bull, right? I just ignore them. Or maybe I'll reach out to them and try and convert them to the cause of good marketing. Sometimes I'll do that if I've got time. All right, but the point is that if you go for quality, go for gold, okay? Seek out quality people who are residing in quality ponds. So it could be friends of your current friends, quality people who associate with your existing friends, Facebook friends. It could be Facebook groups. It could be Facebook pages. You can find great people on Facebook pages as well. You can. So, but it's a matter of having those quality conversations, adding value, and then reaching out, maybe just see if they want to talk. Okay, not pitching, just exchanging ideas, that kind of thing. That's more or less the way to do it. There's a lot of nuances, there's a lot of subtleties, there's detail, etc., that is needed to make it work really well. But if you start with core principles, profile of your ideal client, number one, okay? Number two, where are these people hanging out? Where are they hanging out? They're on Facebook somewhere. Chances are they're members of a group. They're maybe contributing to a Facebook page, someone else's fan page, business page, and maybe friends of friends, something like that. Moving further afield, okay, outside, away from Facebook, you can find quality people on a platform like Twitter. I've done that. Instagram, lots of different ways of doing it, using social media. And of course, then you've got paid advertising and all the other options, but it still comes back to finding quality people, establishing quality relationships, and that from there, lots of good stuff will flow. Now, this topic is part of a bigger topic on conversions. This is like a feeder for the conversion. It's one of the ingredients for an effective conversion formula, okay? An effective conversion formula is not just about, hitting people over the head and saying, hey, do you want to buy my thing? It's not about that, okay? That's the smallest thing. I mean, I'm asking people to buy. If you do your job right, they'll ask you to buy. That's my attitude. They'll ask you to buy. Okay, so there are a number of different ingredients when it comes to developing a master conversion game plan. Lots of them. There's probably 12 of them, something like that, maybe more. Now, I've got a webinar coming up in 2 days. In 2 days, 48 hours. And normally this webinar is for my paid members, okay? This is the first time that I've opened it up for other people. Just open, no strings. You can come along. It's called 8 ways to convert Facebook friends into customers. 8 ways to convert Facebook friends into customers. So I'm going to cover those 8 ways. I've got some other goodies on that webinar as well. So if you want to attend the webinar, as I say, it's in 2 days' time, around about this time. And there will be a recording. So if you can't make it, either say yes in the comments, or you can just send me a PM and I'll get you the registration link. All right, well, that's enough of this little 10 minute, okay, about 15, something like that. Hi, Chandra. Penny, did I say hi to Penny? No, I didn't. Mario, hi, yeah, hi, Penny. Maria, hi, Maria. Myro, Craig. Any questions, guys? I'm happy to take 1 or 2 quick questions before I close for the day. All right, but I hope you take on board this key message, core message about quality. Quality is the name of the game. So quality relationships, working with quality people. Don't work with broke people. Don't work with broke people, okay? So narrow it down, target geographically as well. Okay, you may be comfortable talking to people in third world countries, but really? Really? When 99% of the population are flat broke, doesn't make a lot of sense to me, yet I see it all the time. People telling me, some of my students, they say, oh, I'm talking to this guy, he's in, blah, blah, I won't mention the name of the country, but he's living in this country. I say, oh yeah, what sort of work does he do? Well, he does a bit of here and there. I was like, well, the chances are he's flat broke. Why are you talking to people who are flat broke? I don't get it. I don't get it. All you're doing, you're spinning your wheels. You talk, spending 80% of your time talking to the wrong people and only 20% talking to the right people. We got to shift that around. We got to do a switch. Okay, so that's the message for today. All right. Thanks, Craig. Gina. Hi, Gina. Okay, folks. All right, let's end it. See you later. This time zone, next Facebook Live for me will be in next week. Okay, it'll be Monday or Tuesday. And in another time zone, more suited for Europeans, I'll run one tomorrow and see if we can help a few people in other parts of the world. All right, this is Kim Willis. Bye for now. Bye-bye. I'll eat my chocolate now. I eat my quality chocolate. There's one. This one's from Vietnam. It's pretty good. Bye.